What's happening
This week
in
in
sports
sports
cards?
cards.
This week in sports cards. Oh, this week in sports cards. Oh, this week in sports cards. Oh, this week in sports cards.
Welcome into This Week in Sports Cards. I am Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
I'm Andy, the King of Pennants.
Guys, so in these weekly videos, we just cover some trending topics in the hobby, mainly sports cards. Might be a little non-sports worked into the mix, right, Andy?
Yeah, every once in a while there's some cool stuff that comes out, so you gotta introduce that as well. So
Yeah, got to cover it all for sure. Andy, I think the most exciting thing that's going to be happening this upcoming in sports cards is that on Rips and Brews, I'm going to start the pack rip a day of 1989 Fleer.
yeah,
And the proper date code for the F-Phase card. It's an early date code. So watch out for that on Rips and Brews. Every day I'm going to rip a pack until I hit an F-Phase or one of the rare variations.
what happens if you hit it day one though? It's just like, let's go for two. Really?
I'll keep going. I'm not going to rip one and stop.
Then you gotta see the most you can hit out of a box of those.
Oh yeah, if you hit one, you got a shot at two, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta do some. You gotta do it for the like real research of the product, right? You got to know what you can hit out of there. So
yeah, I think the range is 0 to 2. I mean, it's not. Nothing's. I'm hoping it's not 0. That would stink.
that would be sad.
Because a Billy Ripken box with the proper date code is not cheap. But anyway, that's not broad news. That's just local Rips and Brews news.
That's right.
There have been some pretty cool sales across the hobby, though, right, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously some. We're always looking for interesting stuff and always trying to show a cool sale that like probably not everybody's looking for. The one I'm doing today is kind of a cool product. I'm not sure everybody always like rips on junk wax and always hasn't, and probably deservedly so. It's probably it was difficult for the tops and all of them to recover from really what happened there, because I think so many people just like stopped collecting for a while. At least I did. I know you did too.
Yeah, I did. I did like 91, 92.
But I think there are some cool cards out there, some cool things that you can collect out of that junk wax era that not everybody really knows about, and maybe they do. But the one thing, and a big sale, actually, I think there's a couple big sales this week came from something called Topps Tiffany. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
So Tiffany is kind of like it's a premium upscale version of Topps, essentially. I think you can only get it out of a case I'm sorry, not a case, but a set, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, some of those cards they're basically a lot rarer. They look brighter and they kind of look different slightly. But like, I would say if you looked at a card back, like not knowing that one could be a Tiffany and one couldn't, then you would just say this is just a normal card, right?
Yeah.
The sales are dramatically different though. So
oh yeah.
First thing I want to show you is now if I can find this.
So, Andy, while you're pulling that up, I would say, what would you define the junk wax eras? I would say maybe 95 or 85, 86 to 91 kind of time frame. That's sort of prime junk wax.
I would say so. I would say so.
People might say it goes earlier than that, but I feel like that's when it really jumped up, especially 87 tops.
Okay, so we're going to pull up two different cards for you, Keith. I'm going to pull up a normal version of the card, and then I'm going to pull up the Tiffany version of the card. Same grade, two of the biggest players, I would say, of our era that we're looking for. First up, we're going to go with Barry Bonds. This is the 1986 Topps Trade. It's still a very good card in a PSA 10. So you can see $570. Not bad, right? I mean, it's still a good price. Even for junk wax, honestly, that's not bad. But it's PSA 10. Now, what happens when you go to a Tiffany card?
Oof.
$14,000.
Can you bring that image up of the card a little closer?
Yeah.
Original listing there. Just want to see the, if we can see the close up.
So you'll see it has a little Tiffany on the side in the underneath Barry Bonds. So look for that. If you're looking at a card and it says, wow, you're thinking,
Yeah. I mean, I understand on the slab, but but on the card itself, it's hard to tell. I guess in person, it would probably be easier to tell.
It is a little harder to tell. So the only difference you'll see, and I don't think you can probably even see it on the eBay side, really, is it's a little bit brighter, and the back is definitely brighter too. So the back looks like it's, and there's a gloss to it as well. So there's kind of a couple things, a glossy, but you would overlook this card, I think, very easily. If you did not know about Tiffany stuff, you would definitely overlook that.
Sure.
What would you say is another kind of big 86 tops traded guy? Do you remember?
Bo Jackson.
Exactly. That's exactly who I'm looking at. So Bo Jackson in a PSA 7 regular, $18.68. It's affordable. I think that's a cool card.
That's a good buy.
In a Topps Tiffany, it is going to sell for closer to 400. So
there you go.
So you're really looking at, not even 10% or
20-fold.
20-fold difference in pricing on that. So yeah, I mean, if there's anybody that you're a big fan of, it's like, in the 80s or in that junk wax era that you're like, well, they still have a really cool card or a big card, like, McGuire or Canseco, any of some of those. If they have a Tiffany card, that's like your grail guy now, I think. So
now, do they only do Tiffany? And this is not my wheelhouse, but do they only do Tiffany in the update?
No, I don't think so, because there's 87 Future Stars. There's an 87 Future Stars Bo Jackson as well. If you remember that, like wood paneling card.
87 tops. So that they made a Tiffany in that as well.
They made a Tiffany in that as well. So it's and I don't know a ton about the Tiffany stuff. I just kind of got into this a little bit, but it's a very higher end version of the cards that you kind of remember growing up. So
reason I asked that, because in a buy that a buddy and I made, which is on Vintage Sport Flips, there's one tote, and at the bottom of the tote there's like 25 86 tops traded sets that are sealed. I'm sure they're all regular 86 tops traded. As compared to Tiffany, but I think the tops traded only came out in sets, did not come out in wax.
Right.
But obviously 87 tops would have come out in wax if there's Tiffany for that as well.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
From my understanding, you only got Tiffany cards in sets too. So it was not you couldn't buy wax of Tiffany cards or anything like that. So
no. Yeah. And same for update. Yeah.
So
all right, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's something to be on the lookout for. If you're flipping through a box of junk wax and you see a little extra shiny,
a little glossy, a little shiny, a little light, a little brighter, look for all those. And hey, maybe take a swing at it. Even if it's, you can get the card for $15 and it turns out to be a Tiffany. You may. Does
it not say Tiffany on back?
I don't think it does. Maybe it does. I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question, but
I'll look it up so we can educate it ourselves and the people who are watching at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It is substantially brighter, but I do not see.
Yeah, it's like a pinkish color. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Tiffany anywhere on it, so it is just the look of it. Yeah. So, and it's blaringly different on the back. It's more pink than like that dark red.
It looks almost bubblegummy, I would call it. Like a bubblegum type of pink versus like a reddish pink. So
like an eraser pink.
Exactly.
Is that eraser? Yeah, I forget what eraser looks like, actually. It's a weird metaphor if you don't even know what it looks like. All right, so that's cool. Very nice little junk wax hidden grail there that maybe people would overlook. So I went vintage, and Andy went vintage too, but that's a little bit more pseudo modern than what I have. And you can see from my stuff over here, I when I do cards, I definitely are drawn to vintage. So let me pull up my screen here. Let's find this. So I pulled up I found a 1957 Topps sale of and you know the key rookies and 57 tops in football. I should clarify. And I'm a football first guy. If you don't know, that's fine.
I don't. I'm not off the
Okay.
top of my head.
So the big one is Johnny Unitas. There's several
Okay.
rookies in there. Tommy McDonald's in there, but there's
Sure.
bigger rookies. But Johnny Unitas
Yeah.
rookie card. So this was a PSA 8.5. Beautiful 8.5. So the pop count on the Johnny U rookie card, there's 0 10s out there. There's 6 9s, 6 8.5s, and then like 106 8s. So this card was sold by Mile High Auctions recently.
Mhm.
This was ended mid-January, January 16th. This sold for $65,978.
It's crazy.
Which was 30 grand over the previous 8.5. So that's like a double up on your 8.5.
Yeah.
8.5 Johnny U, which I guess when that sale is such a low pop count, there's only 6 of them out there. If there's multiple people vying either to build a high grade set or maybe a Johnny U run and they want the highest grade they can get, I mean, get a couple people going on it, they're going to inflate that price a lot.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
pretty nice to see. Vintage, you know, people think vintage is stagnant, right? That vintage doesn't change a whole lot. It definitely changes. You don't have to have a great season to see your values bump up, whether it's just people realizing there was less of the stuff out there, or Ty Cobb is the biggest example of that. Around the pandemic, a little bit before, Ty Cobb stuff blew up. I mean, it absolutely went crazy. So there's changes in the market, even when these guys finished playing 100 years ago.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes like movies come out and stuff like there's a lot of renewed interest in stuff, and you know, I mean, it's always, it's more stable, 100%. Like, you know, like you're not going to see a drop off probably of you know, Johnny. Well, you never know. I guess it depends on the auction, I think, as well too. Like you said, if you have 2 people that really are concerned that this may be the last card that, you know, of that, you know, quality comes out, then there's, you know, but you never know. There's
absolutely.
There's not a whole lot that's coming to the market a lot, for sure.
No, absolutely. You're right. And you're right. I think it has less chance of going down, does have a chance of going up. And the volatility is on both ends in the modern market. Vintage, I think it's a pretty safe bet. You're not going to lose a lot of money unless you just buy too high, right? If you don't buy smart, you can lose on anything you do if you don't buy smart.
That's true. That's true.
So we're having a couple interesting sales we thought there. So, you know, figured we'd share that. But any drops coming out in the future here, the near future?
Yeah, no, we definitely got some interesting stuff coming out. So we're this will be coming out the 1st of February. So yeah, this week's pretty busy. We got Panini Prism coming out on the 2nd, which would be Monday. This is gonna be a copy. Yeah, you've seen the Panini Prism, although I have not seen Megas. Maybe have you seen them out in the wild? I don't think I have yet.
I'm not sure. We opened a Prism blaster on our live here on Rips Brews, but I don't recall seeing a Mega. It's probably out there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think they've come out yet. So you got Topps Museum Collection, which is kind of from my understanding, is a bit of a premium product. You have Topps UFC Royalty, which is another kind of higher end version of we ripped Stadium Club on here a little while ago. It's another Topps product. We got one that I have been very interested in, that's the Topps Chrome Tennis, which I don't think I've seen it out. I mean, maybe there's other versions of it in the past, but I'm kind of excited about that. I think there's some cool cards in there that you could hit. Coco Gauff, and you know, she's like number 2 tennis player in the world. She'd be a great hit if you get an auto of her. And then you got kind of further down the road, the 12th, you have Topps Pristine, which is another kind of high-end product. Topps Gilded Baseball. A lot of baseball stuff coming out in a lot of different sort of varieties.
It's interesting because that's like the one sport there's nothing going on in. I'm in free agency.
I don't get that too. It's like, why you're really, you know, I guess, you know, you don't have hockey, right? Because there's you don't have consistent like there's no Tops hockey, right?
I mean, Upper Deck,
they're
right?
not-
And yeah,
So Upper
yeah.
Deck really handles that for the most part.
You would think they would delve into it. I mean, Tops they made hockey cards forever.
Yeah.
But
There are, I want to say Panini does, I don't know if they have a license on it. I know they have big cards in that. I've certainly seen like Bedard stuff that goes for, $30,000 and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's kind of what came out. We had Tops Midnight that dropped this past week. Dropped, I think it was on Thursday or Friday, which is kind of honestly, all the Tops basketball product, aside from being very like the base stuff, is very expensive. Yeah, Sapphire that's going for retail for $1,000, but the boxes are selling for over $5,000. Then you have Tops Midnight, which is selling, I think, for little over $600 retail, but is selling for over $1,000, if not $1,500.
it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, they just had their EQL thing, which is their
Raffle kind of
raffle. The raffle, I did not win one. I figured I'd give it a shot just
on the Midnight.
On the Midnight, yeah, because you could have pre-ordered it, and maybe I'll do that next time. I should just probably know because I don't know. I didn't. Did you realize how like popular basketball like cards are? I always thought it was like football and baseball, but like the basketball cards are just
absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So.
The other thing I saw, Andy, not necessarily drop related, but I saw Topps Stadium Club. They had to issue like an apology online. Did you see that? Because I guess their regular product they advertised on the images they showed like Chrome cards on the advertisement, but there's no Chrome in that set. Probably not a hobby box. It was just the regular retail boxes.
Was it Stadium Club? Is that what it was?
Stadium Club, yeah.
So they also had to release an apology on I think it was the basketball, if I'm not mistaken. They had because they were saying that there was I think it was a blue refractor or something like that, like exclusive blue refractor. And it was like, that's not what it was. It was something completely different.
They get their stuff together over there, right?
I feel like they're, all of a sudden have all this new found stuff. They got basketball now, right? They got football. Yeah. So they're like, we have so much stuff going on, but their quality control, you gotta hit the marks.
I say no gaff is as big as last year in the red rookies, when like the vast majority of the red rookies weren't even eligible for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, that's like sort of kills that whole fun project when you're like, oh, if you get that red rookie and they win Rookie of the Year, and then they were totally ineligible to win.
Yeah, but that here the difference in that is like they won't win, all right? It's almost like it makes the cards that you're trying to get like smaller, right? So there's only like
but why would they even make him a red rookie to begin with?
I get you.
Just do a little research.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is like this way they're advertising stuff that literally doesn't exist in the product.
That is wrong. That's right. I agree. All is wrong.
I would argue that's a little bit worse than just being like, well, but yeah, no, to your point, they've had quite a few stumbles right now. I mean, people make fun of Panini a lot for their kind of their quality assurance, but yeah, maybe it's all
get together
companies.
Tops.
But Tops is such a massive thing, right? They're owned by Fanatics, and it's an absolutely massive. Panini's big too, but like not in the same level.
No. Speaking of getting it together.
It's our new segment, Get It Together.
Yeah. Me and Andy, we attended a show today.
Oh, we got it together. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, we got it together, but I will say the show has to get it together. I'm not gonna put him on blast, Andy, but
we were at a show. Let's just say that we were at a show in Philadelphia.
What is Philadelphia? I mean, yeah, we'll just leave it. We were at a show in Philadelphia. This
Brotherly
is
Love. Not the Brotherly Love show.
It wasn't the Brotherly Love show.
It's the city of Brotherly Love.
No, I love the Brotherly Love show. This was another card show in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Maybe in named after a section of Philadelphia. I'll just put it that way.
It's not going to be hard to figure out, but okay.
But I mean, I've been to a lot of shows. This was my least favorite card show I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I'll say it's probably a great card show. Well, just say the name, Fishtown Card Show. Why are we dancing around with the name? And it's probably a great show for dealers. Maybe a good show for dealers. Freaking awesome show for the show promoter,
Yeah.
but freaking brutal show for anyone attending that show.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree
I
more.
mean, the venue was like way too small for the amount of dealers they had. They let in like probably enough people to fill the link to a show that was like the size of like a not even a supermarket. What's small? I mean, maybe a big Wawa, like a big convenience store. And it was like you could not move in the aisles. In half the aisles, you couldn't even get down the aisle, elbowing
Yeah.
people to move, let alone see a card.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you couldn't see anything. Yeah, you basically were just, and like you couldn't move down certain rows because there was a path of going back. The problem is either you have less like people there, or you have less like vendors there, because then you could spread the vendors out more or something.
Yeah.
But if there's vendors on either side, and then there's people looking at the vendors on either side, that shrinks the pathway, right? And now you have like 2 lanes of traffic. It didn't work at all. So yeah,
no, yeah. I mean, they try to pack way too much in the show, and
they could have been busy and crowded in a place twice that size.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. My main point: if you want to hang with the big boys in terms of shows like the Philly show, Chantilly, which this show probably had the same amount of people attending, to be honest. You got to get a better venue. You got to get a big venue where they can hold, not put it in a casino that's like on a second floor. I think if there was a fire in that place, there was thousands of people going to die in that place.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was a, and I'm surprised the fire marshal didn't shut it down. It was that many people in there. But anyway, I'm not to complain too much. I mean,
women and children be damned. I would have George Costanza out of that place.
Yeah. I would have Costanza with you, right along with you. So yeah, I get it's a good thing for the hobby that like people want to go to a show.
Yeah.
People, there's a lot of young kids
that's
selling
cool part,
and buying, and that's cool. But you gotta, the promoter, I'm sure they took a lot of money in because it was $10 to get in, and they made a lot of money in admissions. It's a 2-day show.
We left there like probably an hour to 2 hours maybe later, and it was just as I mean, there was
the line was still just you couldn't move, and there were still people trying to get in.
Yep.
So yeah, my message: if you want to run a show, and before I say that, people out there, have you attended shows like that? Tell us in the comments. We've attended a lot of great shows, and I love going to card shows. I love to talk to people. But tell us, have you encountered those kind of shows where it just like ruins the experience, where you can't even move, right?
Yeah, like the idea is great, but like the execution is just way off.
Yeah. And I guess it's hard as a promoter. You're not going to want to. You want to advertise it for your dealers. You want to bring people there, but you got to sort of plan that. Oh, if we bring a ton of people here, can we accommodate that? So look for bigger venues. I think is the end of at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I mean to rail against that show. I know it was a great effort, but
I like the fact that there's more shows. There's like it's not just one show every 3 months or something like that. I know there's smaller shows all over the place and stuff, but yeah, you gotta understand your audience, I think, a little bit more, and who's coming, how many people are coming. It was a fairly big vendor place. I mean, there were some big vendors there, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, I think it's unfortunate, but hopefully they learn from that and they get bigger. I mean, I think they could sell twice as many tickets almost too.
Oh yeah, no, that show was probably that could have been like a Philly show. It's a different show because Philly show is a lot more vintage. This show did not have a ton of vintage. I mean, I can't say for sure because I didn't see many cards. But yeah, it could fill up.
We saw a lot of backs of people though.
Oh yeah, if I was wearing my GoPro trying to get footage for vintage sport flips down below, I could put up a 2-hour video of just people's backs. That would be, if you want to watch that, let me know. I'll put it out on vintage sport flips. But anyway, that's if you want to sponsor Rips Brews, this town card show, hit us up.
Yeah,
hit us up.
We love you.
All right. Anyway, they tried well. They tried hard. But speaking of people who didn't try hard, there's a pair of people in Washington State that were I'm trying to make sure I get this phrasing right. They were convicted. They were convicted of fraud. I don't know if you read this or saw this, and they were selling fraudulent Pokemon and Michael Jordan, I believe Michael Jordan rookie cards. It didn't really clarify if it was a rookie card or not. But what these guys were doing is they were buying. It sounded like what they were doing. I should clarify based on the article I read, and allegedly, I should add too.
We don't have the money to get sued. So.
Yeah. Allegedly, they were buying like lower grade cards, maybe like 6 or 7 Jordan, 6 or 7 Pikachu or whatever. I think that's the only Pokemon I know.
Charizard, you know that.
Charizard, yeah, there's one. And they were, I think, somewhat cracking them, taking the slip out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And modifying that or making a new one to make it a 10. So
I mean, you could literally take the slip out of one and put it in another. I guess I don't think they were doing that because then you're ruining the 10 in the first place, right? Yeah. It makes
so
sense.
They've defrauded people out of like $2 million overall in doing this. So I mean, there's so much. I wouldn't say easy money. I think there's easy money in the hobby to be made doing it honestly, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you hustle, you grind. You can make honest money in this hobby, and to do that kind of stuff and just rip people off, it's a shame.
Yeah.
But I guess what the end of the story there is when you're buying a slab, that's the beauty of eBay. When you're buying a slab on eBay, it goes through the eBay authentication process.
Yep.
They're going to be checking that slab to make sure it's not altered, which is nice. I mean, things could slip through the cracks with that. But
but you at least have a little bit of like provenance through eBay and whatnot. I mean, like that's almost like twofold that you're going through. Like PSA, you would assume, obviously the card's correct. And then at least you have eBay's kind of stamp of approval as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's why, I mean, so if you're buying your cards elsewhere, just double check those slabs, make sure the slabs are, they might look cloudy or something. I've never seen a tampered slab, but just do your due diligence there and don't buy from 2 dudes in Washington State. I think you're selling a lot online, though. It sounds like not nothing against Washington State either. We're really making some enemies in this episode.
You are making the enemies.
No, we love everyone.
Washington State. If you want to,
sponsor Washington State.
Yeah, we love the state of Washington.
We love apples.
Yeah, we love apples. Love apples.
Huskies, the Washington State Huskies, right?
Absolutely.
Or is that Washington Huskies? No. Who's the Huskies?
Washington, University of Washington.
Who's Washington State?
That's Cougars, I think, aren't they?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it is a Cougar.
It's a Bledsoe College, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there we go. So yeah,
so we've only alienated one state so far. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that wraps up the episode. We angered a lot of people this episode, Andy. This is cutting edge stuff here. But I should ask, do you have anything else in this week?
Tell us in the comments which state you hate them. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And like I said, tell us in the comments about the show rant we went on, that mainly I went on. If you've encountered that at shows in your town and you're in your area.
Yeah, like what's your like? I'd be interested to hear what people think. Like, would they rather have more people there because like the vibe's good and they're more people like vendors there and stuff, or would you rather it be a little more sporadic, laid? I mean, I think everybody would probably want a little more laid out and stuff. I mean, honestly, the Philly show is pretty crowded too, but it's a little bit. It's nothing like that. I think
the national gets that way at times. If you're around the PSA booth, you're gonna have trouble walking around at that space. But yeah, it's at least you have some spots where you can go where you're not like getting elbows to the throat every 2 seconds. So anyway, that wraps up this week in sports cards. Guys, check these videos out. They're not always going to be rants in these videos, but every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. And then we've been putting out a lot of content throughout the week. Me and Andy are both doing a project where we're trying to acquire some Grail cards for our collection through different means. Those videos come out on Tuesday, and the second episode of that will be out this Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Yep.
Doing a lot of ranking lists on vintage cards and cards in general, and then pack rips across the board every day, almost pack rips. And me and Andy, by the way, are having a personal competition who can get the most views in our pack rip sort. So if
you're
you
this guy, watch me.
Probably if you own the Fish Town card show, you're going to want to watch his shorts over there. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. We appreciate it. And until next time, peace.
Oh.
This week in sports.